Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back. I'm Quinn, and if you don't know, for the last few months, I have been exclusively working on two different projects. The first one was this crochet blanket I made for my mom, and the second one was this hand knit tank top that I made for myself. And I recently finished both of them. Those two projects were taking up all of my brain power and free time for the last however many months. So I have not had time to work on other projects, and I also haven't had a lot of time to think about what projects I would like to do next. So I thought it would be a lot of fun and also helpful for me to go through all of the crochet and knit projects I would like to make in the upcoming fall and winter months. I've spent a good chunk of time going through my Pinterest boards and Instagram and all that kind of stuff, gathering up a bunch of inspiration, and I have made a decently long list of projects that I would like to make in the upcoming months. Probably unrealistic that I'm gonna finish all of them, but you know, a girl can dream. So I think in total I have 14 projects on my list today, 7 crochet projects and 7 knit projects. All of my knit projects, I'm planning to make them on my sentro, but if you've worked with the sentro, you know sometimes things just don't work out and then you have to end up doing them in a different way. So planning on doing them on my sentro, but who knows really. So we've got a lot to get through, so we might as well just get started. And for my first one, we're gonna start with the crochet projects first. And for my first one, I am gonna cheat a little bit because I had a granny square vest on my list, but I went on a road trip recently and I made my list and then I didn't film it, and then I went on the road trip before I could film and I made this vest. So I did already make this, but it is already fall, so I feel like it still counts. Yeah, so this is number 1. So a very quick and simple project. I made this really quickly, and I really like how it turned out. I think that this will be a wonderful addition to my fall winter wardrobe. I live in LA, so the weather is pretty mild here, but I'm a baby now, and so I do get cold even when it's like 70 degrees outside. So this will be perfect. It's just like a bunch of different wool and acrylic, I think, yarn kind of all mixed in here, and so it will keep me pretty warm, but it's not too overbearing when it's, 70 degrees outside and I don't really need a sweater, but I still kind of want to wear one. And I was able to use up a bunch of scrap yarn with this, which was amazing because I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with the amount of yarn I have right now. So I'm trying to get through a bunch of it. The second project on my list is also a crochet project, and I have actually started it, but before I show it to y'all, I just wanted to talk about the pattern quickly. So the pattern comes from this book, Top Down Crochet Sweaters. I have used one of the patterns in this book before and I really liked it, so I decided to do a second one. So I'm doing the Isola top from this book, and I'm decently far on it already. So the way that the patterns work in this book is each pattern sort of has 2 branches of projects. So there will be like 2 sweaters that have a very similar pattern, but one is a sweater and one is a cardigan. And the other pattern that I've made from this book is the pair to this pattern that I'm making right now. So that's why this is going really quickly, because I've already made the cardigan version and now I'm just making the raglan sweater version. I'm not usually this quick with my projects. But yeah, I am really liking this pattern so far. It's turning out really cute, and the yarn I'm using is the Superwash Merino yarn from Lion Brand, and all of the yarn that I can link in the description, I will, so I will have that linked for y'all. I really enjoy this yarn, especially with this pattern. It just has a lot of really nice drape, and the way it kind of stretches out is nice. Yeah, and they have a lot of good colors, and it's very pretty. For my third project on this list, I want to make a crochet raglan sweater that I think has 3/4 sleeves that are sort of belled out a little bit. I think that would be so cute. And the yarn I'm gonna use, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. is this avocado dyed cotton yarn that I dyed this yarn with avocado pits and skins a while ago, and I still haven't used it. And I'm so excited to use it. Because I put so much work into this yarn, I have been like waiting to think of the perfect project for it. And I think that this is the perfect project. So I'm very excited about it. I think, again, it's gonna be a pretty quick project because I wanna do maybe half double crochets and have a sort of loose gauge because I really want the drape to be nice. I'm really looking for kind of quick projects right now because those two that I did before, the blanket and the knit tank, just took so long that I'm really looking for some quick satisfaction lately. When I'm done with my Isola top, the one I just talked about, that's probably what I'm gonna do next because I just can't wait to use this yarn. Number 4 is the Eternal Seasons cardigan by Jewel Makes over on Etsy. This is also another crochet project that I really wanna make so badly. I feel like every single time I go onto Pinterest or Instagram, I see some version of this cardigan, and I think it's just the universe telling me that I really need to make it. I don't have the yarn I would like to use for this project yet, so I don't have any yarn to show y'all for that, but yeah, tell me what color I should do because I'm trying to decide between a lot of different colors and I don't know. I might wait towards the end of the winter to make it because I have all this yarn that I really want to get through, and for this one I need to buy yarn. So this one's a little lower on my priority list, if I'm being honest, just because I don't have the yarn for it, but it's so beautiful and I really want to make it. So yeah, help me make it by telling me what color yarn I should get. For number 5, I saw the cutest picture on Pinterest recently, this sun and moon granny square crochet tank. I saw this and I just fell in love with it. It's so witchy and cute and I feel like I can make it pretty easily. And I have a bunch of scrap yarn that I'm not gonna show you the scrap yarn because it's just difficult and messy to show y'all, but you get it. Orange and yellow and blue and all that. But it's perfect because I could use up a bunch of that scrap yarn and I think I can make it really quickly. So it's hitting all the boxes for what I'm looking for right now and I love it. And if I could make it while I'm still in this kind of Halloween-y mood, that would just be even more perfect. So this one's pretty high on the priority list just because it is like exactly what I'm looking for at the moment. For number 6, I have another crochet scrap yarn project that I'd like to do. This one is not really related to the season, fall or winter. It just so happens to be fall and I want to make this now. Yeah, so it's not really related, but whatever. I want to make a bunch of these crochet pot holders and hang them up on my wall. I think that would be the cutest thing in the world. And again, it's just quick projects, easy to make, use up a bunch of scrap yarn. And this one, again, like it's not really related to the season, so I don't feel a pressure to finish it very quickly, but I don't really feel a pressure to finish it at all. You know what I mean? It's just make these little squares whenever I can or whenever I want to, hang them up on my wall, and then I can continue to make more and more and more and just keep hanging them up until I have a bunch of them all over my walls. And I just think that that would be the cutest thing in the world. Number 7 is the final crochet project I have on my list, and I want to make this hat. I want to make this hat exactly. This is the coolest hat I've ever seen, and I just so happen to have some eyelash yarn. This is not something I would ever buy, but I got it as like a bundle of yarn from a yard sale. Like I just wanted some of the yarn, but she was like, just please take it all for $5. I got a ton of yarn for $5. Like I was not gonna pick this one out, but she just gave it to me. So now I have it and I was gonna give it away. And then I saw this hat and it was fate. So I have to make it. This is the cutest hat I've ever seen in my life. And I have the yarn for it. And then I was gonna pair it with this yarn to like make the whole hat. So yeah, some scrap yarn. And then this weird eyelash yarn that I literally would never buy, but I just so happen to have it. For number 8, we can move on to the very first Sentro project on this list. I want to make another of this top. So I made this top a while ago, like last year on my Sentro, and I love it so much. I wear it all the time. It's like one of my favorite things I've ever made. And I really want to make a pattern and tutorial for it for the Sentro. So I need to make another one. I have the yarn for it. I'm going to use the same yarn, just in a different color. And it's the Malabrigo Rios yarn. This time I'm going to use Archangel for the colorway. This is very beautiful yarn, and the yarn that I used before, you know, it's the same brand, it's the same line, all that stuff, just a different color. Is such nice yarn. It's just, I don't know, it's just so beautiful. It's so soft. I just really love it. It worked really well in the Sentro. I have the pattern all written up. All I have left to do is make the video for y'all. Number 9 on my list is another pattern slash tutorial I'd like to make for y'all on the Sentro of this cardigan. So I made this cardigan a while ago, and y'all have been asking for a tutorial for it, and one is coming. I have been working on it. I just, you know, I have a lot of patterns and tutorials that I've been trying to get through, and this one is big and a little daunting, so I'm working on it. I have the yarn for it. I got this beautiful Drops brushed alpaca silk yarn in this great rust color. It is so pretty. So another one that I'm super excited for, especially because of the pattern tutorial aspect to it, but I'm excited to just have another version of this cardigan as well. I love this cardigan. It is so nice. I don't know, it's just like such a cool design, I think, and I'm really proud of it. So yeah, be on the lookout for that in the next few months. Not coming super soon, but I am working on it, rest assured. I think we're on number 10. So for number 10, I always have this on my list of projects that I want to make, and I just still have never made it. It is a vest with open sides and probably ties to tie it together. I have been talking about making something like this for so long, and I just have not done it yet, but I'm determined to do it this season. So we'll see, but I have some yarn laid aside for it, so that's step number 1. So this is the yarn that I'd like to use for that vest. I'm hoping I have enough because you can't buy this anywhere online. I got it at some little shop in North Carolina when I was visiting this summer. The Sentro doesn't use like a ton of yarn compared to hand knitting to make any given project, and I like my things cropped, and there's no sides on the vest, so I'm hoping that that is a good project for this yarn, because if I don't have enough, like I can't get any more. And then I maybe will use this Purple Friday Harbor yarn just as like a collar and maybe a hem or something on the vest. So wish me luck on that one. Think positive thoughts about my yarn. Number 11 is not very fall or winter appropriate, except for the fact that I live in LA, and like I said earlier, it doesn't get super cold here, so I feel like it still is appropriate for this list. So I really want to make a tank top just like this on my Sentro with some yarn that would typically be better for warmer weather. I have this Trubu yarn. I thought that these two colors would look super cute striped together like in that top I showed y'all. And I've done a few tests with this yarn on the Sentro, and it works very well. If you don't know, the Sentro can be very finicky with the yarn that it accepts. So typically the Sentro really only works with more cold weather yarn like wool or acrylic. It doesn't really like warm weather yarn like cotton, but I found out after using the Sentro for so long that it does tend to like bamboo yarn, which this is bamboo yarn, so that's perfect. And I think that it's like vaguely appropriate just because, like I said, it's more of a mild climate here. So I'm putting it on my fall winter list, even though it is a tank top made with bamboo yarn. This is why I live in LA, so I can still wear summer clothes in January. Okay, number 12 is probably the project I'm the most excited about. Look at this thing. Look at this sweater. This is the tabard style Aran sweater. I think it's just like a vintage pattern that someone's selling on Etsy. You know, they just like copied it and then they just send out copies of it or whatever. I need it. It's the perfect sweater. I have some yarn for this sweater. This is some yarn that Jared bought for me when he was in Wisconsin. So again, it's just like a local thing. I've tried to find it online before, or like this company online before, and I can't find them anywhere. So I can't link this yarn for y'all, but it is so beautiful. The color, this color probably doesn't even show up super well on camera, like how, I don't know, like how subtle the variations in color are. It's just so beautiful, and it's gonna be perfect for this sweater because this sweater deserves the most beautiful yarn. This is the most beautiful gray color yarn ever, and then I'm gonna get blue and yellow because I'm not original and I have to just recreate this sweater exactly because I love it. And although I'm drowning in yarn, I don't care. I have to buy more because I need to make this sweater. Like, this is number one on my list. I know I'm currently making a crochet project. That's not number one. This tabard style Aran sweater, that's number one. I'm making this. I can't live without it. For number 13, I really want to make some knit pants on my sentro. The only other bottoms I've made on my sentro before was this skirt, and it turned out super cute. Really like it, but you know, I wanna challenge myself a little bit more. I've never made pants on my sentro before, and these knit pants from Cordal Studio, I've been in love with them for so long. They don't sell them anymore, and also like they were expensive and I didn't want to buy them, but they are so cute. And so my inspiration is most definitely gonna come from these pants because they're so beautiful and I love them. So I don't know if I will get to making these pants this season. They're a little lower on my priority because I have to buy some yarn for these. I have to buy a lot of yarn. They're gonna take a lot of yarn because they're big long pants. So they're a little lower on my list priority wise, but they're so cute and I love them, and I really would enjoy the challenge on my sentro because like I know how to make a sweater and a scarf and a hat, you know? Like I'm looking to make some more complicated pieces on my sentro, and I think these pants would be a really good appropriate challenge for me at this point. And finally, for number 14, I would love to recreate this sweater. This is the Diamond Shards sweater by the Knitting Game company on Etsy. I saw this sweater on Pinterest and I just thought it was such a cute design, and I had the perfect yarn for it. So the yarn that I like to use to make this sweater will make this a little complicated, but again, like I just said, I was looking for a challenge on the sentro, and this will most definitely provide me with that, and I already have the yarn. So this is some yarn that I got in North Carolina at that same time that I got that other yarn that I was talking about, so I hope I have enough because I can't buy more. I have 3 skeins of it though, so I think I have enough along with this yarn, which I also have 3 skeins of. And I can buy more of this because this is Friday Harbor yarn, so super easy to find. Used it before, I love it. And this color is so pretty. And I thought that these would go very nicely together. But there is an issue with the yarn that I've chosen. So this yarn will work very well on the sentro, but this yarn will not. So I'm going to partially make this sweater on the sentro and then partially hand knit it. I think that this will be enlightening, hopefully fun, and hopefully I get a really cute sweater out of it at the end. So those are all of the projects I have lined up for the upcoming fall and winter months. This was very good for me to sit down and make a list of the projects that I want to make, figure out what yarn I want to use, just plan everything so that when I finish one project, I can just move right on to the next. I was feeling a little lost and very tired after finishing those 2 big projects. All of my energy had been wrapped up in finishing those that I didn't think about what was gonna come next. So I am really looking forward to making all of these projects. I think that there's a really good mix of small, easy projects and then some larger, more complicated projects. Gonna be using up a bunch of my yarn I have, which I'm really excited about. So let me know what you're most excited to see me make and if any of these inspired you. Also, let me know what your fall and winter fiber arts plans are. I would love to know what y'all are making. I wanna give a quick shout out to my channel members. As always, I really appreciate y'all's support. It means so much to me and y'all are the best. So thank you so much. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day and I'll see you next time. Bye.